This is going to be a short but authentic and real video. Not sponsored. It's my own thoughts. So, full disclosure, you're going to hear dogs barking in the background. You may hear a weed eater and a lawnmower too going off. Like I said, this is real and authentic. But the reason why I wanted to make this short video is because I just took my first road trip on the RS660. I bought a 2023 RS660 a few months back. I guess about 6 months at this point. And I picked it up from Southeast Motorsports in Douglasville, Georgia. And the bike so far has been absolutely everything that I imagined that it would. And by coincidence, I might add, because while I've been going on this journey of beginning to ride motorcycles or the three-wheel, I've been trying to discover which bike was right for me. And I didn't have a lot of friends that rode, so there wasn't a lot of bikes for me to test out. So I had to do it the hard way. I had to spend my own money to kind of figure out the bike that was right for me. And I love the three-wheel. This is no knock against the Ryker. The Ryker is a great platform. And situationally, it is the better of the three bikes for me, specifically when I want to commute to work or when I want to take longer trips. It is definitely the better option because it's more comfortable. Now, the Ninja 650 is a good platform, but the reason why I got it was because I was scared to get this bike originally, because there are Kawasaki dealerships literally all over the area here in central Mississippi. The closest Aprilia dealership is 6 hours away in Georgia. So it seemed to be more practical for me to get the Ninja 650 versus the Aprilia RS660. However, after owning the Ninja 650 for a few months, I just really wasn't completely satisfied with it. Again, not a bad bike, but I was just looking for more. I wasn't quite ready to go up to the 1000 yet. Didn't feel like my skills had matured enough for that much horsepower at this time. So I began thinking about the Aprilia RS660 again. And Aprilia had a really good program at the time. Motorcycle sales had slowed down. And so they were offering a program to where you could really finance the vehicle for like 6 months without any payments. So I was like, wow, that's almost too good to pass up. So I wasn't in any financial constraints per se. So I went ahead and just took advantage of that offer. And I said I would keep the Ninja 650 to compare to this bike to figure out which one I really wanted to keep long term. And boy, I can tell you, so far, I mean, it's been the RS660 hands down. I don't know how it's going to hold up 3 years down the road. I really don't have any concerns about the Ninja 650 and reliability. Great bike. To the point that I've been going back and forth to, do I want to sell it? Do I want to keep it? And at this point, I think I'm just going to keep it and do some different things to it. But this RS660 has been everything and more that I'd hoped for. To the point to where I'm 47 and I went on my first road trip. Shout out to the Mississippi Motorcycle Club and Rubber Down Motor Group. Started by my good friend Bruce, who also has a YouTube channel. I'll try to post a link to his channel below. Y'all give him some support. The man does a lot for the motorcycle scene here in central Mississippi. He really does a good job of connecting different groups and, you know, just trying to help you find people to ride with. Like I say, I work a lot. Even though I've been living here, I don't have a ton of friends in the area and don't have a ton of friends that own motorcycles and like to ride. So I've had to branch out and meet new people, and Bruce has been instrumental in that. But back to the subject at hand. The RS660 is an absolute great platform. I had enough confidence to go on this first road trip. All right, so this past weekend we met up with some motorcycle clubs out of Louisiana, and we met up in Slidell, Louisiana. And the objective was to link up with them there and then ride over to the Mississippi Gulf Coast, and everybody just congregate and have lunch together, fellowship, meet new bikers. And what an absolutely great event. I think it was something to the tune of like 85 bikes that showed up. And over the course of the day, I ended up putting, well, let me just show you. Let me just show you. All right, let me find the key. Find the key to the RS660, and I think I've still got the trip meter set. Okay, let's see here. Use arrow. There we go. All right, let's start on up, baby. Love the TFT display. Yeah, I'm not sure if you can see it. Let me try to zoom in here. Okay. All right, but just take my word for it. The trip meter reads 376.9 miles, and it was actually more miles actually traveled. I didn't reset the trip meter until a little bit later in the trip after I discovered that I didn't reset it when I left the house. So keep in mind that I am 47 years old, and I won't say very comfortably, but I will say definitely mildly comfortably or moderately comfortably. I traveled 376 miles in one day, at least 376 miles in one day on this bike, and actually went to work the next day. And just to tell you how good of a bike it is for a sport bike, I'm 47. Yeah. And the 20-year-olds that were with me in the group were hurting about as bad as I was when we all made it home. And some of them were riding adventure bikes. I think one of them was on a Busa. Well, my cousin's about the same age as me, a few years younger. But he was on a Busa, which is definitely more comfortable. It's a wider seat. I had another young man in his 20s that was on the Ninja 400. And we were all feeling about the same before we split up for the last leg of our journey home. So if you're on the fence about getting an Aprilia RS660 and you're looking for a great do-it-all, sort of what I'm gonna call middleweight, mid-class bike that has really, really good performance, amazing technology, and stick around for another video that I'm going to make about how the technology on this bike probably saved my life on the way back. But that's a subject for another day. But if you're on the fence and you're looking for this class bike, which is quietly becoming among the most popular class in the industry right now, that parallel twin, mid-performance, 100 horsepower or so bikes. They're a lot of fun, great platforms for the street. The seating position on this bike is great. It has great technology, really high-end technology. I just wish I had the Olin shock in the rear, but that's something I can change a little bit later on. And to me, hands down, this is probably the best looking bike, or one of the best looking bikes on the market. I absolutely love the Aprilia. And besides the tech package and the performance of the bike, the looks of this bike is probably what attracted me the most. I just couldn't stop thinking about it. They did a really good job designing the bike. And then the icing on top of the cake, if you will, was the fact that this bike has cruise control. There are lots of bikes on the market with different rider modes and the ability to customize different characteristics of the bike, or aspects of the bike's performance, different settings. But there aren't many bikes on the market, and I don't know if it's any in this class, that has cruise control. And that is another feature, right, that enabled me to make a trip that long in one day on this bike at my age, is because it has cruise control. So there were plenty of points along the trip where I saw other guys having to take their hand off the throttle and slow down to rest their right hand. I didn't have to do it, not once. And we had people on Ducatis, high-end Yamahas, Gixxer 1000s, you name it. And I had one of the few bikes that had cruise control. And boy, did it make a difference on the trip that long. Not a perfect bike, but again, I think it's one of the best bikes on the market, the best all-around bikes on the market. It's kind of at a not so cheap price. I want to say this bike was probably about price point for a basically a hobby vehicle. It's kind of steep to pay, especially if you're somebody like me that has multiple bikes, right? That's a lot of cash. So I think if Aprilia could somehow make the bike a little bit more affordable, but yet retain the styling and the features, I think they would dominate sales. This, where there's a couple of million people, probably 4 or 5 million people in this area, we should have a dealership closer than 6 to 8 hours away. I have plenty of people in this market that absolutely love this bike, the people that I've let ride it. I've had guys even this past weekend that were from Brazil that said, hey, I love that bike, but from where I'm from, we couldn't even get it. It wasn't even offered on the market. So if Aprilia could solve some of those issues, I think they have a bike that would absolutely dominate the category. So guys, these are just my thoughts on the Aprilia RS660. Quick video with a lot of noise in the background. But please, if you guys enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. I'm trying to grow the channel. Definitely want to bring more content, a greater variety of content. So help your boy out. Please like and subscribe. So Deep South Moto out. See you guys the next time.